Abhishek cleared PMP with all above target just 45 minutes ago.
I would have not been able to clear the exam if Amir Ali would have not been there. I would have not been.
I did not believe that I will be able to clear my PMP within a month.
I don't know what to say actually. Like I'm kind of like really
And I
trembling.
got my results and I was above target in all three categories.
Wow. So, Abhishek, first of all, congratulations on clearing PMP and welcome to the club, brother. Welcome to the club. I have been waiting for you for a good amount of time, although it took not much time. Abhishek joined in batch 15 and today he cleared PMP and he's one of the most fascinating person I know that have cleared PMP in the recent time. So Abhishek, you know how these lesson learns occur. So now this is your journey, this is your lesson learned. Share it in a way you like it. How the entire thing was, please.
Sir, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your mentorship. Thank you so much for your personal help that you did throughout the program. Uh, it would not have been possible without your help and your support. So finally, I made it. It was just a span of a month and 2 weeks, I guess, and I could clear PMP. So thank you so much for your support and everything that you have done for me. So I would say that it was not at all easy journey for me, managing offices as well as you know preparing for the exam,
Managing me
but
as
because
well as
of the right directions as well as because of the right input, the kind of trainings and the kind of way that you need to work for the PMP was totally beneficial for me. So I really feel very much happy about it, and I really thank you from the depth of my heart.
thank you. Thank you for saying that. So how difficult was it to manage me?
It was not that difficult, I would say, but yes, it was tricky. There were not many questions, for which I could get multiple answers, but then I just remembered the concepts and I remembered how to, do the elimination technique and, find out the keywords from the questions which is asking for the answer. That was the key, which actually helped me to clear the exam.
Okay, that is just amazing. That is just amazing. Abhishek, so you joined the program, worked on it, and finally became certified PMP in a very small time. So your batchmates are saying congratulations. Yash is saying congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Yash.
The lightning rod of batch 15, Usman is saying congratulations. So now congratulations are in
Thank you.
progress.
Thank you to Usman for keeping following up with me every morning
Yeah,
and night, asking, what
he's
are
a,
you doing?
he's a great guy. He's a
Yeah.
great.
And
He's
I,
my
I, I really want to thank you for creating that stage, getting all the people from, students from multiple places. It gives us as an environment to, talk to people from different places as well as, get their inputs as well as try an understanding from their point of view. That is very important to create a stage like that. So really thankful for that, because once you get different viewpoints to understand a question or a concept, it is really very easy for you to think from the other perspective.
Yeah, that is so true. And your batch was such a diverse and rich batch. Now, Usman is from Denmark. Then we have people from India, Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Everywhere we have people from all over the world. So your batch is just amazing, and they are doing amazing things. Okay, so let's talk about exam. Abhishek, how was the exam?
The exam was, I would say, was not that difficult, but then it was quite lengthy. I expected that the questions would be easy and a one-liner. However, that was not the case. Um, we had a lot of questions wherein it was multiple lines, and then the answers were also very confusing for me. But you know what I thought, like the questions and the answers would be as easy, but it was actually not. Most of the questions were from agile and hybrid, and less from predictive. There were hardly any questions from procurement and audit and quality. Very few questions from business environment. Okay, most of the questions were like agile and uh, hybrid technology methodology. Sorry, and they were asking mostly what should a project manager should do in this situation. I mean, most of the questions were situational based. So I would say that it was more of a like case study, uh, and we had to actually spend at least a minute or minute and a half for one question. So it was not that easy, sir. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, talk me about the time management. So, first 10 minute was tutorial. Then, how
Hmm.
did you manage the time for each section?
So, yeah, I try to follow the same timeline which you recommended. I stopped the timer at 155 for first 60 questions, and I was able to, reach that goal. And similarly for other two sets, I took both the breaks 10 minutes. I had, small break. Break and had been to washroom and then had a water glass of water, and then I did all those practice which you actually recommended. So I managed my time accurately as you said, and I did not find any flaw in managing time. And moreover, managing questions more than a minute also, I did not spend reading through the questions again and again to identify. So in a minute, if I'm able to answer, I answer, or else I proceed to next question. So I just made sure that I did not review the questions in that break and make myself confused, like you said. So these are all the good practices I did during the exam.
Okay, okay. Now, Naveed, I'll come to the exam part later. Naveed is asking, could you please highlight which technique to use to memorize the definition and uses of different terms? So, how do you memorize all the definition and all these things?
Naveed, honestly speaking, I haven't memorized any of the terms. I mean, see, my experience is comparatively somewhere into project management. I've been doing projects, so I'm acquainted with the terms similarly. So I did not, find a time to. I did not thought of memorizing the terms because those terms were like quite familiar. But yes, of course, if you are new to this environment, probably you would require it to memorize. But then, if you understand the concept that sir gives you in a journey lessons of 10 minutes, that is more than sufficient, I would say, because this journey are typically a gist of all the methods and the process that we practice in PM. And it is very easily scripted. I mean, if you go through the book and all, you would probably get confused by reading through the questions and all. Like through recommendation of couple of my colleagues, I went through questions from Rita. I went through questions from some other book and then YouTube. But then, at the end of the day, what I understood is like, let me go through the sir just and then, believe in him and then go ahead. So nothing to memorize, I would say personally believe that.
Thank you very much for saying that. That was very good. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the exam. So, exam was more towards people area. So, you are getting a lot of congratulations. Umar Sadiq is also saying congratulations. So, I
Thank you.
always appreciate. So, when a person becomes certified PM, it's just like you got married and now you are the groom. So, you are married or single?
No, sir, I'm single.
So you will find out that same because in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, the same thing. You will become groom and you will understand. Okay, this is similar to PMP. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
okay, now let's talk about the exam a little bit. So, how many questions were more towards people domain?
I would say it was more than 60%. Everything was related to your team management. How would you manage a situation? How would you make sure that the conflict is resolved? How would you make sure your vendor situation is resolved? I mean, everything was related to people, I would say, more than 60%. And
And
hardly any process questions I got. Lucky I was, because most of the people. I mean, initially when I was trying to solve all the questions, this process questions was actually demoralizing me. Most of the process questions I used to get as what comes before, what comes after. That was really annoying for me. So, but then unfortunately, that did not came in my real PMP exam. So I'm really happy. Most of them were like, if you go through the materials, you would feel like, okay, this is the concept, this is how we should do and react, and this is how it is. So it was more of a people dominant questions.
the more towards people dominant if you
Yeah.
and those 6 marks of people, how relevant they were for the exam.
The marks, I would say, were exactly not relevant, as in if you talk about the questions.
No,
But
no, no,
then
no.
yes, the concept was totally relevant.
Of course, the question cannot be there, and we don't
Uh-huh.
want that to be there because
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
but yeah, I agree. The concept was totally. It was, all the concepts that we did in the mocks was included here. I mean, most of them were actually a part of this question: agile, hybrid, predictive, iterative, incremental. Whatever concepts we studied, we had a similar kind of questions here.
Okay, we have a similar type of questions there. Okay, guys, if anyone has any question, please do ask from Abhishek. He can actually give the insight. He just came from the exam. You see, he's at the I guess bus or train station. He haven't even reached his home. So I said, okay, let's do it there. And do like the video. It is very important so that it goes into the algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay, Abhishek, how many formula questions were there?
There were two, I remember, because everyone is keen to understand how many formula based questions. There were two from CP, critical path method, and there was one from communication, n into n minus 1 kind of question. Okay, and not a proper calculation, but yes,
Any
two
CPA,
more
SPA
from
question?
yeah, CPI and SPI. I mean, how does the project is like that?
So CPI SPI questions were there, and that's an interesting thing to work into that. That CPI SPI questions are very important for that. Okay, how many compliance questions? Because I got two.
Compliance, yes, we had few, not that dominant. I mean, five, hardly, I would say, not much than that. Compliance and uh, you know organizational behavior, the last
Mhm.
portion was very few.
Any question from Sun model?
No, sun model, no.
No, it stopped coming. Okay, so what about risk quality procurement? How much the exam was towards that domains?
Yeah, we had comparatively good number of questions from risk, I would say, not from procurement, risks, and then risk mixed with people management. I would say that was not properly risk, definition based questions, but yeah, it was a situation based questions, including risk and people management.
Risk and people management was there, and that was, of course, the important thing regarding exam,
Yeah.
how it can work into that. So that's an always interesting thing to know which areas are more dominant towards the exam. Okay, Abhishek, any other thing you would like to say about exam that was there? Any important thing?
Uh, Time management is the key that I'd been hearing from all the PMP who had cleared the PMPs. So, of course, time management is the key factor. Second, until you do not have the clear concepts of the PMP knowledge, it would be little difficult for you to go ahead, because there are a couple of concepts that is situational based, and you'll have to connect the concepts along with the situation based questions. And third, I would say, believe in the training and the materials and the questions. That's what I did. If you remember last night, you just asked me to appear for a mock test, and then I did it. I mean, even though I was getting less scores, but then when you said you can go ahead and appear for the exam, I said okay, because my concepts were cleared. However, the questions were not coming right, probably because of some or other reason. But then yes, uh, believe in the training and the material that you have provided. So I would say only these three questions.
Okay, okay, you're okay. Now you know that my mantra of life, how I operate and how I request
Each
every
one teach one.
each one teach one. So now that's your thing. You need to do that. You need to become the sun model of your team. You need to become, and you need to sport. Make sure everyone in batch 15 clear, and you have 25 students of batch 1. That is your. I will. You reach home, go. Guys, I want to put something in the context. This guy has not even taken one day off. He works in a odd time from India 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and he did that work last night, and he's gonna do job today. So just well done, man. So, but
Thank you, sir.
being said that, you need to work with the team members.
Yeah, consistency is the keyword. I remember you told me the first day, even though you don't spend complete full day, at least you spend some time.
So
So I kept on doing the same thing.
yeah.
I just believed in all the practices that you said and followed your mantra.
So consistency is the key. Let's keep moving forward, and moving forward is the way how we can work into that. So now your goal is to help other people. Each one teach one. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's make each people certified PMP. Let's do this thing. And thank you, Abhishek. Thank you very much for trusting us. And best of luck for future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.